Hello everyone, welcome to Club Reaction to Motherwell 1, Rangers 2 in the Premier Sports semi-final at Hampden. Rangers have managed to get themselves to the final after very much a tale of two halves, and by God am I sick of saying that. I'm Scott Carney, I'm on my own today, and yeah, I'm a wee bit confused about how I'm meant to feel today. Am I meant to be happy? Am I meant to be sad? Am I meant to be angry? I'm not really absolutely sure, because we've seen some good things today. We've seen some absolutely, truly terrible things today. And if that's not a story of our season, then I really don't know what is. The manager made a few changes today. The starting 11 was Butland, Tavernier, Suter, Balogun and Jeffrey at the back. The midfield of Barron, Raskin and Tom Lawrence. Front three of Barami, Dessers and Czerny coming back into the squad. The first half was terrible, abysmal, shocking, every word that you want to throw at this Rangers team. Rangers were pathetic all over the pitch, really, really pathetic, all coming to a kind of paramount with Cyril Dessers, who missed an open goal today. In fact, even before then, Dessers had a chance right early on in the game to make a simple pass through to Barami as we broke, and he decided to pass it to the centre half. Yes, Dessers scored. I'm going to come to that before anybody gets their knickers on the twist in the comments. However, we can't continue on like this. We can't continue on playing these players. Him, James Tavernier, Tom Lawrence, awful. I mean, honestly, they offer nothing. They really do offer nothing. James Tavernier, that's probably one of the worst I've seen. James Tavernier, especially in that first half, that's the worst I've probably seen. James Tavernier, he couldn't do anything. He couldn't pass the ball. He literally could not do a thing. He was that poor. And we went a goal behind from a goal from Andy Halliday, who decided he wanted to get on the end of a cross more than our Rangers defenders. The fact doesn't tell its own story. I don't know what will. Rangers got booed off at half time, and it's never been something that I have done, but I do believe that Rangers thoroughly deserve to hear the frustrations of the fans due to what we're watching. Clement is not learning. He's not making the changes that he has to make. He's not giving himself a fighting chance, ultimately, in my opinion. I'm still stand by that. I don't think Clement should be the Rangers manager, but he's not doing himself any favours by continuing to do what he's doing. I'm not going to lie, there were some of his comments that he made midweek, I'm sorry, the part two of the press conference that came out about, he was asked the question about being able to change formation, and he said something about foundations not being there. You've been in the job over a year. Why is there not foundations? There should be foundations, and that's a worrying sign for me. Tom Lawrence had to go off, and it brought Diomande on in that first half, and in the second half I thought Rangers would make changes. We didn't. We didn't. And yes, Dessers was the one that was on the end of a pretty good move, to be honest, by included Barron, Czerny and Dessers was there to turn it home. The one in the 99 chances that Dessers needs to score, and that's the one that he does score. But it got us back into the game, and I thought, right, okay, we're back into the game. Let's go now. Let's make a change. Let's make things different. Let's try and do something a little different. And I thought Czerny was one of the ones in that second half that really stood up to be counted. I thought he wanted involved in the game. I thought he was trying to take responsibility within the game, which is kind of what you're wanting from these players, from your key players, your quality players, the players with the quality anyway, that you want them to take responsibility, and I thought he did. Clement then made a change that's become very popular now, even after a quick scroll through social media at full time. He removed James Tavernier and put on Sterling. He removed Dessers and put on Danilo, and Rangers improved. They were removed dramatically, might be a bit over the top, but based on what we've seen in the first half, you probably could label it as dramatic. We were the dominant team. We were the team that looked like likely to scoring the winning goal, with players looking to take a wee bit of responsibility and to get a bit of heart and desire and dig and everything that you want in the team. Something just to give us something to get behind. And I thought Czerny was, as I say, I thought he was a major part in that. I really did. I thought he wanted the ball at all times, and it was him that crossed the ball over for Barami to turn it behind. To make it was a deflected effort, but it still beat the keeper and went in for 2-1. And from then on in, Rangers were the dominant team. We probably should have went on. Jeffrey hit the post as well. There was a few other kind of half chances. We maybe should have turned it away, but I thought Danilo's movement made a hell of a difference. I thought Czerny's responsibility. I thought Barami, after he scored, started to get involved in the game. I thought the midfield of Raskin, maybe not Raskin as much, but Barron especially, didn't give up the whole time. Barron, the entire match was all over it. It really was all over it. Didn't give up. And Rangers are probably thoroughly deserved winners at 2-1, but I'm going to give a backhanded compliment, I think, here. We should never be in the position that we are 1-0 down at half-time against a team of Motherwell's calibre in the semi-final of a cup. It shouldn't happen. It just should not happen. Rangers have got away with one, in my opinion, again. And look, I'll probably take criticism, and if I do, I do. I'm fine with that, but I'm not going to stand and pretend that everything's all rosy, because it isn't. I still don't believe Villa Clement is the man to take us forward. I think he has got away with it today, and he got his changes correct today, which I will give him credit for. The substitutions that he's made has changed the outlook of the game. But we cannot ignore what you're watching in that first half. If he continues to do what he is doing, he will lose his job. In my opinion, it is as simple as that. However, the response in the second half was good, and it's positive to see, and it's reassuring to see. But when you're leaving a semi-final not really knowing how you should feel, I think that itself tells its own story. I really do. I say we're through to the final. We're against Celtic. It's an Old Firm final. It's going to be a hell of a difficult challenge, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of things that need to improve amongst this Rangers team, and we'll just need to have to wait and see by the time that we come round to the 15th of December, I think it is, how this team are performing. But my God, there's a long way to go if that first half is anything to go by. Again, don't take me wrong, I'm happy with how we performed in the second half, but we need more, and we need it more consistently. And Clement has to now. The team that ended today was better than the team that started it. If he can't see that, we're doomed. As far as I'm concerned, we are doomed, because it just was. I thought Sterling was much better at right back than Tavernier was the entire game, for the length of time that Sterling was on the pitch. And Danilo's movement looks a million times better than what Dessers is, and if this is a guy that's just coming back from injury, then let's hope he can stay fit, and let's hope that he is the guy that's going to offer a little bit more than Cyril Dessers, because I, for one, even though he scored, I'm getting sick at the sight of seeing him, because especially the open goal chance that he missed in the first half, after you leave the game and you watch him back on social media, if anything, it's even worse. So it's where we find ourselves. It is. I don't think you can put much on today. I don't think we can say that everything's fixed and everything's fine, because I don't believe that it is. But ultimately, it looks like Clement isn't going anywhere, and he isn't going anywhere very fast. So we're going to have to try and pick out positives where we can going forward, probably for our own mental state than anything else. But we're into the final, and we've got a hell of a job on our hands in order to secure that trophy. But it's now over to the players. Clement has made changes today that have worked. Clement has to show that he's learning from that, and Clement has to make these changes permanently. I'll probably take that from today, and we'll see what happens as we move forward. My man of the match today, probably Connor Barron, just for sheer effort, sheer desire, sheer attitude of never giving up. I think you have to give it to him. I think it still tells its own story, the fact that Barron is the guy that kind of stands out more often than not, but it's a guy that wants to give everything for this team, give everything for his manager. And in the first half, I don't think the rest of the team can look in the mirror and say that they wanted to give everything for the manager. But yes, that will do us. I think I'm not 100% sure if there'll be a club deck corner on Tuesday. I am away for work, so I'll be unable to do it. But I'll sort it out with the guys tonight or maybe tomorrow about if there is going to be one or not. If not, we will be back with a reaction on Thursday after the Europa League game, and obviously back on Friday with Club Live. So yes, be nice to me in the comments, but I'm never, as you say, you always know I'm not going to stand here and pretend everything's rosy when it isn't. That was a hell of a slog in the first half, improvements in the second half, and ultimately we've got ourselves into a final, but there is still massive red flags for me under Clement, and moving forward he has to start making the correct decisions that the fans can see. If he can't see them, then we're always going to end one way, I suppose. Thank you for listening to me. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll speak to you later in the week. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers everybody.